Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about an island in Indian Ocean where an Emirati Israeli military base is going to be established or currently working. So welcome to our channel. We are discussing international relations, geopolitics, geoeconomics and other world affairs. So when we discuss about the politics of different countries in international relations, geography matters a lot. Geography can be sometimes boon or bane of a country. Certain countries have efficiently used their geography to emerge as a trade hub and an important strategic center, like the United Arab Emirates in West Asia or Singapore in East Asia. So today we are going to discuss about a specific island. So first of all, we are focusing our discussion on Yemen, a country in West Asia. So when we look the map of the West Asia, we can see the location of Yemen. It is roughly located near in the Arabian Peninsula. It shares its northern border with Saudi Arabia, its border in the east with Oman, and it have a huge coast in the Red Sea and Indian Ocean region. So when we look Yemen, the Yemeni coasts are very large, hundreds of kilometers, and they have many islands across the Red Sea as well as the Indian Ocean region. And the important geopolitical factor of Yemen is that Yemen is actually guarding the gates of Bab el-Mandeb. Bab el-Mandeb is an important strait in the connecting the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean region. So when we understand the importance of Suez Canal, the commercial importance of the sea lanes of communication in the region, we can understand that Yemen is an important country who is guarding the gates of Bab el-Mandeb. So that's why Yemen's geography has a big role to play in global trade and commerce. So when we discuss about Yemen, Yemen is a country in West Asia. It is an Arab country. It is inhabited by majority by Arabs and majority of the population are Muslims. So when we look the history of Yemen, Yemen is a very contested country. Then when we in political science, when we describe about states, states can be sometimes strong states which have a strong government, which have a stable government, which have a strong army, which have a stable strong economy with manufacturing everything, or which can be very strong in geopolitics. In such a manner we can also explain about weak states or failed states. What are weak states or failed states? These states have effectively failed in their matters, like politically they may not have a strong leadership. The one of the characteristics of the failed states is that they don't have a stable government. Sometimes the same country will have rival governments, two or three rival governments. Sometimes the different parts of the country will be controlled by different rebel groups. For example, countries like Somalia and Syria and Yemen suits a best example of a failed state, because from 2012 you can see Yemen don't have a stable government. There is internationally recognized government, but it is based in Saudi Arabia. They have less control. Certain parts of the country is controlled by a rebel group known as Houthis or Ansar Allah. They are very much connected to Iran and they control a big part of Yemen. Some part of Yemen is controlled by militant groups like Al-Qaeda in Arabian Peninsula. And some part of Yemen is controlled by parties like Southern Transition Council, which plan to start a new country in Yemen. So in the paradigm of failed state, Yemen suits well. First of all, Yemen don't have a stable government. It is facing a terrible civil war for the last 12 years. And also the different parts of Yemen is controlled by different parties. Then another feature of failed state is that failed state is like a goalpost without a goalie. That means every international actors or major global powers will be interfering in the country. So Yemen is a classic example of that. On one side, Saudi Arabia and UAE have interfered in Yemen in the last 10 years by a Yemen war, which is very brutal. On the other side, Iran is also influencing Yemen by assisting Houthis. So various outside countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran, as well as external powers like America interferes in Yemen a lot. So a country which is subjected to foreign interference and manipulated bestly suits the category of failed state. Another condition of failed states is that they have a failed economy. Their quality of life which they offer to their citizens is very low. They don't have anything in good in production and services. So when we look the economy of Yemen, it is in utter shambles. Yemen is one of the very poor country in the Arab world. It is very poor country. Since the last decade, due to the ongoing civil war, major installations like oil power plants, oil installations, power plants, ports, everything has been bombed. So Yemen is facing huge poverty, huge famine, and huge outbreak of disease like cholera. So economically, Yemen is a big failure as of now. So when we consider the parameters like political leadership, the unity of the country, the poverty, the quality of life, Yemen suits perfectly to the paradigm of failed states. So when a state fails, what happens? When a state fails, external parties will intervene in that state. And same happened to Yemen. So when we again look the geography of Yemen, in north of Yemen there is Saudi Arabia, in east of Yemen there is Oman, and in southern and western part it have the seas, the Red Sea as well as the Indian Ocean region. As I said earlier, Yemen uh, plays a big role in controlling the Bab el Mandeb, the Strait of Bab el Mandeb, as well as Yemen have island in Red Sea as well as Indian Ocean region. So when we focus to the map of Yemen, in the Indian Ocean region, we can see a island called Socotra. Socotra is a very important island. So it is consist of a archipelago. 4 islands are there. It is near the Gulf of Aden. So it is very strategically located. When somebody speaks about Socotra, we can't avoid speaking about the biodiversity. Because Socotra's the plant species, animal species are very rare. You won't find many of the Socotra plant species, tree species across any part of the world. So if somebody goes to Socotra, they will feel that they are in an alien land. So you can see in the photo itself the varieties of trees in Socotra. So apart from the biological importance, geostrategically Socotra is very important because it is on the sea lines of communication. It is near the Indian Ocean region. So when we speak about Socotra Island, for the last 10-15 years, Yemen government have effectively lost the control of Socotra. So who is controlling Socotra? One of the rebel group in Yemen named Southern Transition Council is effectively controlling Socotra. They are doing the government services as well as their troops are controlling the island. But is Southern Transition Council working alone? No. Southern Transition Council or STC is acting as a proxy of another powerful country, United Arab Emirates. So for the last 10 years, effectively, UAE is controlling Socotra Island. So that's the crux lies here. UAE, a very strong country, cash-rich emirate, is actually controlling the Socotra Island. De facto, they are controlling the island. How they are controlling? They are funding Southern Transition Council. They are arming them. They are training them. So by an agreement, now Southern Transition Council is under UAE actually. So UAE have deployed hundreds of soldiers and they have started a lot of construction. So how I am saying this? When referring to many satellite photographs in the last years, we can see UAE have constructed many roads, many military barracks, naval piers as well as air bases in the island. So these were released by open source intelligence labs and you can see the photos here. So is UAE doing it alone? UAE have constructed a military base in Abdul Quri Island. So they have entrenched in the island, but they are not alone. Actually, they have the blessing of America because America is the biggest security provider in the region, as we see by American deployments by land, naval, air bases in the Central Command region. So America is subcontracting the control of this Socotra Island to UAE, and UAE is subcontracting it to a militant group called Southern Transition Council. And here lies the interest of Israel because recently both Sunni Arab countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE, as well as countries like Israel is facing a common foe of Iran. Iran and its proxies like Ansar Allah or Houthis. So Iran is harming Houthis and Houthis are creating a havoc in the Bab el Mandeb. They have destroyed many ships out. So this island is actually beyond the range of Houthi strikes. And actually this UAE and Israel are collaborating in this island to build their intelligence establishment. Credible websites have released the photos of Israeli observers coming to the island. So there are many photos available and Israel is also playing a big role in Socotra Island. And when we look at Socotra Island, it is few hundred kilometers from Indian territory of Lakshadweep. So the geopolitical changes in the Socotra island is actually very important because it's very important in the region. Those who control Socotra will have a huge role in the region. And regarding India, regarding near Indian Ocean, it is a critical point. So it also have impact on India. Thus, a very remote Yemeni island, Socotra, is being an important pawn in global geopolitics. So this is a topic which we want to discuss today. If you like the video, kindly, if you enjoy the video, kindly like my video, give your valuable comments and share it.